Hey guys, this is John, and welcome to another Climbing the Rating Ladder video. I'm paired up here with Carlos, rated 1349. E4, E5 is the opening. Let's play knight F3. Happy New Year, everyone. Hope your 2022 is starting off well. The Philidor defense. Okay, let's play D4. Yeah, I'm glad I got a game here. I was trying for a game a little bit ago. Had a really short game. It was only 15 moves, and my opponent got massive time pressure, deciding not to post that one. But looks like we have an interesting game shaping up here. So C5, this move weakens the D6 and the D5 squares. So even though it attacks the knight, it seriously does weaken D5 and D6. And I believe the best move is bishop B5 check here, inserting this capture. I wouldn't mind a trade of the light square bishops because that should make it easier for me to conquer the D5 square in particular later. So we're going to throw that move in with the check. Looks like my opponent might be having some connection issues. I hope they get back here. This is a 10-minute game, so they've got a little bit of time. Nice to be back recording some Climbing the Rating Ladder content. All right, my opponent reconnected. Good on them. Okay, so we got to take. And then we'll figure out where to move the knight. This will kind of depend where black decides to play next, what piece they decide to recapture with. Okay, so because knight takes d7 was played, I'm kind of tempted to go here to attack d6 because the queen is no longer defending the pawn. Knight b5, also an option because queen a5 check could be met by the other knight developing to defend the knight. Honestly, I think virtually any safe knight move is fine, but I'm definitely leaning towards knight f5, and I think I'm going to go ahead and play that. I'm curious how black's going to defend this. Okay, knight b6. So that gets the queen involved in the defense. Now, this is a target that I'm already going after. I can make a developing move here that also attacks that with a gain of time. And if you see that, kudos to you. I'm going to play the move bishop f4. So bringing that piece into the game. And this is a typical operation when black has moved that c pawn early and created that backward d pawn. That is a pawn that has no pawn on either side of it to defend it. It's backward, and it's subject to attack. So what to do here as black? Now, if d5, I spot a possible tactical idea. Some of you may have seen it already, whether or not I gave you that hint. So the real astute of you probably anticipated that. But I could see black playing that because it's difficult to defend d6 otherwise. There is the move knight c8. Retreating the knight, that might be the best move, but it doesn't look too hot. Knight c3 or castling are fine. I could try to, if I want, arrange castling queenside. Knight c3, queen d2, castle long, so that I get the rook involved in the attack on d6. So those are all ideas going through my head right now. Black could maybe counterattack. Knight f6 was an option. Okay, so black decides to defend d6 by playing knight c4. However, that knight is shaky there, right? It's undefended. If my c-pawn was gone, I could play queen a4 check. But there is no immediate attack that I see that's going to punish them. Queen d3 comes to mind here. To attack the knight. Trying to bait knight takes b2 so I can play queen b5 check. Feels a little ticky-tack, though. I don't know. Queen d5 might be the better operation because that hits b7 and the knight. Queen d3, I wonder if black can go queen a5. Might be a decent defense. So, of the ways to attack the knight with the queen, I'm kind of leaning towards queen d5. There is b3 as well if I want to hit the knight, but maybe black's going to go knight e5. So, all that considered, looking at this, yeah, knight takes here. Queen a5 I'm not so worried about, but knight takes on b2, I can take b7. Let's say rook b8. I could give check on c6. We might have a trade of queens in that line. Other options here. Could just castle. Could just short castle and see how black responds. But you know what? Let's go with the queen d5 move. I think this is interesting, and we'll see how black plays this in reply. Hitting the undefended knight. I'm also attacking b7. If b5 to support the knight, I think that check on c6 is going to be especially disruptive because queen d7 would be the only move. Black doesn't have king e7 because I cover. And on queen d7, I can pick up the rook on a8 with check. So important moment for black here. I think knight takes b2 might be the best move. Okay, but black plays g6 instead. Now, this is instructive. You see a lot of players at, I'd say, the below 1600 rating level rely on these counterattack moves where I attack you, but instead of moving your attacked piece, you try to attack me in some unrelated part of the board or with an unrelated piece or pawn. Okay, and that's what that g6 move kind of strikes me as. Spend your time on these moments. I've talked about this before, but these in-between moves, they can be punished oftentimes. Not every time, but they can often be punished. So what immediately comes to mind is queen takes c4, because if g takes f5, I can just take back, and I've won a pawn there. I'm looking for other knight moves that I might have. I'm not saying anything great, so I'm probably going to go with queen takes c4. Yeah, it looks like a safe way to bank a pawn. Black has very little in the way of development after this, too. Could throw this check in, but I might keep that in reserve. Yeah, let's go ahead and take this pawn. So black didn't lose anything truly catastrophic, but that probably will prove to be an important pawn. Black's king is starting to look pretty open to me, and they're a long ways from being able to castle. Okay, d5. So this hits my queen. If I give the check, queen d7 is probably going to be the answer. What else could I play here? There's a check on e2. Queen e7 might be the move. I could try to play something like this to attack the rook over here. You know, this, in theory, should be fine for me. I am up a pawn, but I do feel like keeping the queens on board. It's a little hard to describe, but somehow after this, I think the black king might be pretty comfortable on c6. So I may keep the queens on board here. Yeah, you know, let's play queen b3. Attack b7. If a check comes in here, queen e7, I may actually go king d1, which perhaps will feel a little bit reckless, but I can go rook e1 after that. I have some attacking potential. There's also queen e3 if I want to change my mind and trade queens there. Maybe black could go for this, though. Queen e7, and if I go king d1, they could castle queenside. Their king looks pretty open. I still like the look of my position there, but that would be an intriguing change of events here. But for now, let's see what black does. Okay, they do go queen e7. So decision time for me. Do I step this way, or play queen e3? I'm not going to play bishop e3 because that runs into d4 with the pin. So king d1 is the move that appeals to me most here. And I think I'm going to play that. Let's do it. We're threatening rook e1. I know black can castle this way, but after knight c3, I'm going to try to prove that black's king is open, and maybe knight b5, the weakness of a7. Okay, another pawn move from black. Now, this is getting dangerous for them because I can look at check here. I can look at queen c3, hitting the rook and looking for a moment to play rook e1. Both those moves look mighty tempting, let me tell you. So here, we're probably looking at a swap of queens at that point. I can throw in a check. Bishop e5, there's always f6. But this queen c3 move looks insidious. Unless black goes ahead and plays d4, but I can take this pawn. Yeah, I just don't see how after queen c3, how black's going to fully solve their issues here. So let's do it. Basically arguing that I have a double attack. All right, so this game has been fairly sharp so far. A lot of stuff to think about. And I know I have a tendency to over-explain when I'm doing these videos, but I'm keeping an eye on my clock. There is no increment in this game. It's just straight up 10 minutes per side. I feel, though, we've reached a critical moment. Now, if queen f6, this is a move black could try to step out of the pin. Queen f6, I was going to play bishop e5. Okay, here I think I can just take this bishop. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and capture that. It was undefended. And black's issues remain here. Rook e1, the attack on the rook. winning position now for me. But again, I didn't think black really had a solution there. Maybe d4 was the best move. d4 and just allow queen takes c4 and somehow try to avoid the rook e1 business, but it was looking too tough there. By the way, the rating skew for this game is definitely not in my favor. you guys might get a kick out of this, but check this out. If I move this up. Win 0, draw minus 119, loss minus 239. So that's a lot of pressure here for me with my 4 minutes on the clock. Let's try to get the job done. Okay, rook e1 is going to be the answer. Black's threatening my queen, but we can go for the pin, and we're going to win that queen. We'll pre-move this. This is a safe pre-move. And this rook is still trapped here. Yep. They castle. Oh, okay. I almost took this. However, I see a better move. I have queen c7 checkmate. So we'll play that. Okay. Thank you to my opponent for the game. Carlos from, looks like Argentina. Yeah. Thank you for the game. I will post this in a message to them. I like to send my opponents that I play in the Climbing the Rating Ladder series a message just in case they want to check this out. Again, this is an educational series. This is not at all meant to, beat up on the lower rated opponents. No. I'm a chess teacher. I teach chess pretty much every day. And I find it tremendously instructive to see how players play at the different rating levels. And I know you guys do too, because this series is super popular. A lot of other streamers have done variations of this type of series. And a lot of times the opponents in these series say that they learned a lot too from watching the video back. So just wanted to say that. And thank you.